So I'm just recording here. This is to test for lighting and whatnot. I've pumped the lights way up. I've zoomed way in, and I'm gonna see how this, if this looks any better. Um, Obviously, my wet palette needs some rejuvenate treatment. I've had some critical feedback on how everything looks on stream. So what I'm going to do while I'm sort of testing this is I'm going to pull up my Golden Flesh Triad, which is what I use for painting the skin on these Escher girls. I'm going to drop some flesh on some of these models so I can paint them later. I think you can hear my fan in the background. That's fine. This is just a test for me, really. So put some paint on my palette, which you won't be able to see, but I'm going to put these paints away. You know, new cameras are definitely in the cards, but not today. Not today, dear friends. So you can't really see it, but I've got a nice little blob here of my golden flesh, and I'm just going to start. I'm going to put some on her tummy, on her little tummy tums. So hopefully you can see this. Hopefully this looks a lot better. I basically just pumped up my overhead lights to the max, baby. And I have zoomed in considerably more. Oh, wow. So maybe this will get posted as a test video. What I you know, like the idea of painting on stream. I think what I want to do here now is set up certain stages so that I can show these stages as we go. You can see that it's not the greatest. I mean, it's not, the coverage is decent. Generally, because Reaver paints are so flat, they give you really good coverage. I'll probably need to toss in a second coat for the base, but really, once I add in the fact that this is going to be a 3, maybe even 4-step process to get where we're going, which is finished flesh. You almost don't need to. It's interesting, this is a resin arm, and I'm just noticing the imperfections in it that you don't get with plastic, because plastic are so precise, and whereas resin will lose its shape. And so, anyways, I just need to get into there. I can go in with some flesh wash and add some shadows. I'm not going to be washing the arms entirely, because that's not the way I do the Escher flesh. You will get to see that, but I do use some flesh wash to create some shadows around basically where the flesh ends and the other part of the model begins. I'll throw in a little tiny bit of flesh wash in there just to add some shadow, but not I don't wash the entire area of her flesh, which I have done, sort of a thing I do on previous. So what's going on with her hand here? That's fine. So let's see, there's her finger, so she's got her finger on the trigger. Got my finger on the trigger. What song is that from? I guess that could be Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun. Got my finger on the trigger. I don't know. It could be from nothing. It could be from my own brain hole. So the only thing is that it's jittery if I jitter. But this is pretty. This looks pretty good to me. I mean, it's pretty close. And yeah, I definitely have amped up my studio lighting. That's why I'm so washed out on my little webcam here, because these lights are purpose built for doing pretty much exactly what I am doing, which is streaming and making YouTube content. They're just giant LED panels that I can adjust the brightness on. I also opened up the aperture on my camera a bit, and I think I mean, I could probably even go a little bit. I think the problem is if you're watching this on anything other than, you know, like a 20-something inch monitor, you know, it probably gets lost. Also, there's a lot of motion blur. Again, I'm using my overhead camera is a Panasonic camcorder, and I feel like it's not that great a camera, unfortunately. It's a V770, I think is what it's called. And my research said it was a good camera for doing this sort of stuff. I actually bought it for shooting the battle reports that Alex and I, the Chronicles games that we were planning on doing back in January, but then life gets in the way of that sort of stuff. So we ended up never making those. So yeah, so just getting on her face here. Alright. And then generally with the faces, I'll go in a little bit more liberally with the flesh wash after, because there's all those details on their faces that you want to pick out. So hopefully you can see. I'm just trying to get around her chin over here and keeping the paint off the rest of the model that I've already kind of painted. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with that with this black, because it's not quite done yet, and I'm going to actually paint some black on stream today because I have one of these girls. One of my Eshas, I have not, specifically the Death Maiden, I have not done her black yet. And her skin, I will actually probably be using something much paler. So I have Fair Skin, which still looks a little bit too alive. I have Elf Flesh, which is Elf Flesh, but I also have like, I might use like an ivory almost and just make her look, you know, otherworldly, almost porcelain in her skin. We'll see. We'll see what I sort of land on. A lot of the times I just sort of pick a color and assume I'm going to know how it's going to turn out, and then I'm surprised by the way it turns out, and sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised. Sometimes I go, oh, well, that wasn't really what I wanted, and I'll think about doing it again, or I'll just leave it, because it's time to move on to the next one. On to the next one. What song is that from? I don't know. So yeah, that's not bad. So there we go. So that's just blocking out her flesh, basically. I still have to go in and fix up the black. I still have to go in and do details and other such things. You can see that where I like here, I've got to fix it up. So there's where a good spot where I would probably put some flesh wash to show the transition from her tummy to the top of her pants, and then elsewhere as well. But I will show you on. Ooh. Sorry. I'll just pick one at random here. You can see her. You can see where I've gone in and added flesh wash here, and then sort of along here. But there's not really, and then her face was flesh washed, and then around here and under here. But up here, I kind of let the flesh wash off because that is just the triad essentially. So that's my golden skin, or golden shadow, golden skin, and then there's a golden highlight on top. And it's simple and effective, and I just want to get it. Essentially, the idea is get these models tabletop ready. These they don't have to be masterpieces, each and every one of them, but they have to be good enough that I'll be happy with it. So here's another one. It's another champion. I gotta paint. I didn't realize that this wasn't painted, but she's not on the docket to join my gang just yet. Plasma pistol. Eventually, I'll get a plasma pistol like that. But you can see again. Kind of show you that under here I've added a little bit of shadow. Back in here, you can see a little bit. It's a little bit darker, just to sort of help pick out some of the lines. But then up here, it's mostly not. And then same with on her tummy. And then I do a little bit on the face. So I guess I can show you that, but what I'm going to do first, show you, because I don't even know who you are. I'm not streaming, I'm just recording. If I post this, awesome. You guys are lucky. Look at you. Look at how lucky you are that you get a bonus sneak peek behind the scenes of me prepping for today's stream, because that's literally what I'm doing here, is I'm getting these models prepared so that I can show off a few things on stream, like highlighting flesh, which I think a lot of people have challenges with. Getting flesh to look natural is, and you can spend, I guess I'll talk about this on stream, but you can spend a great deal of time on skin, highlighting it, making it look exactly perfect. But I like sort of the idea of the impressionists, which is as long as you can tell what it is and it sort of has a natural feel to it, you're not going to... What the heck was that? Oh, that's me. And you can probably hear my fan in the background. It's a little bit warm in here right now, and so I've kicked the fan on to try and move some air around, which I will then turn off for the actual live stream, because I'm sure... Yeah, I'm getting like minus 55 dBs of just like ambient noise, and that's because the fan is literally pointed right at me to try and cool me down before I gotta go live and whatever, right? So I'm gonna throw this video up because why not? It was just mainly just testing out new lighting. And it's amazing that, like, when I look at the screen, I can see so many more imperfections in terms of what I've done than I can just looking straight at the model. And that just shows you that the camera sees more than the eye does, and my eyes are getting old, man. There was definitely a time when I had amazing vision, and I think that was a great boon to me as a young aspiring miniature painter, was having such good vision. And then, you know, I think it was just one too many, like, 24-hour... Oh, look, her head's all loose. Loosey-goosey. One too many 24-hour painting marathons. And my eyes just said, you know what? You're asking a lot of me here. I try to avoid screens these days because I find that staring at a monitor eventually gives me some eye strain, and that prevents me from being able to paint because I end up getting headaches and whatnot. So there you go. If you're an aspiring painter out there, try and keep your screen time down, and give those eyes a rest, because this is probably, beyond a good paintbrush and a steady pair of hands. Good set of eyes are probably the most important tool in the painter's arsenal, right? Right? Does that make sense? Who knows? Okay, well, I'm gonna kill it there. You can see I'm just putting flesh on these models. You know what? I'll do her face because I want to cover up. I got some black ink on her chin, and that means that I probably have to be gentle when going in and covering that up, because you want to cover it up, but at the same time, it's gonna look different than the paint you're putting over the gray. But like I said, Reaper paints have really decent coverage, and so probably I'll be able to fix any of that with a quick second coat. Get her neck. Her head keeps turning. I should probably glue that down, but I'll put paint on the model before I glue that down. There we go. No, now I can, she can look any direction she wants. Look, she's not even looking where she's shooting. She's like Dr. Disrespect. I'm not even gonna look. He just looks to the side and snipes someone. 360 no scope, no looking, right? No, we'll do it like that. I like that. She's looking down. She's looking right down the telescopic scope on her pistol, which is a Game 2 upgrade, if I'm able to get it, is telescopic scopes for this. I want her to have a telescopic scope, and getting her the telescopic scope would be cool. Actually, she doesn't need a telescopic scope because she's going to be on the move. And in order to actually use a telescopic scope, you have to take an aim action. So her, though, we will. Because what it does is that it allows you to use your short modifier, your short to hit modifier, as your long to hit modifier. So if she's got a telescopic scope and she takes an aim action, she gets +2 to hit, +3 to hit, because I think you get +1 for the aim action itself. Anyways, that's it. That's my little mini 15 minutes of just trying to test out the new or different lighting setup and a different camera zoom and stuff. Hopefully that looks good. And I will see everyone at 12 o'clock for the official stream, my 5th official stream. And I'm pretty excited for it today. Yesterday was a great day. So yeah, my camera keeps cutting out. You know, it's like the everything will be perfect and your equipment is just subpar, but it's not inexpensive to set up something like this. All right, so that's that, and I'm going to stop that.